It's hard for me to go against UTSA, but I think Troy's got something going on.
On today's Throwdown Thursday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis present the 2022-2023 OCP College Football Bowl Extravaganza. The Odd Coaches predict the winners of every bowl game this season, strictly for entertainment purposes only. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome to today's show.
Greetings and salutations from the road, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, and we're going to honor Kofi Kingston all week because he is the most decorated tag team champion in WWE history. The CM Punk to my Kofi Kingston, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How you doing today?
Man, I am awesome because today is our first ever formal Odd Coaches Podcast 22-23 College Football Bowl Extravaganza, strictly for entertainment purposes only. So fans, in this episode, we're going to do what we promised. We're going to run down all of the bowls. Our episode airs Thursday, the day before the bowl games start, and this is going to take you all the way through the national championship. So when we obviously get to the national championship games in the weeks coming, we'll do a full breakdown, bring people on and all of that. But this is just Mike and I doing our bowl thing that we did last year, but just a little bit better because, hey, we actually watched them. So, well, I actually watched. I should say I watched these Mike's like I'm not watching this train. So let's have some fun, man. Friday, December 16th, the Bahamas Bowl, Mike. Miami of Ohio is going against UAB. This will actually be broadcast on ESPN. Mike, do you have a dog in the race, Miami of Ohio or UAB?
No dog in the race. But I think UAB. I'll take UAB.
All right, and I'm going to take UAB too, strictly for entertainment purposes only. And the reason why I'm taking UAB is that program was dead in the water like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. They had to resuscitate it, mouth to mouth, and now they're back in bowl games. So let's keep that momentum going. Also, Mike, the Cure Bowl, which is like the bowl I actually want to watch. Roy, who is 11-2 or something like that, is taking on University of Texas San Antonio. That is like a subdivision game. Both teams are good. Both coaches are highly sought after. It's hard for me to go against UTSA, but I think Troy's got something going on. That's going to be at 3 o'clock. I want to check that out. Any thoughts on the Cure Bowl with two teams I actually like?
I think it's going to be a lot of offense. It's going to be entertaining. Be a good game to watch. That's a pick 'em for me. I like both teams. I've seen them both play. I like both teams.
All right. So on Saturday, December 17th, we have the Fenway Bowl at Fenway Park. Louisville, a middling ACC team who made the top 25 once or twice this year. It's going against last year's darling Cincinnati. I still think they got some of them 7-year seniors on there. I think they got some of them 30-year-olds. So I'm going to pick Cincinnati because I'm going to go with the older team. What do you think, sir?
I think you still holding on to Project Cincinnati from 2021. So you want to stay
were old,
with
man. They were old.
I'll stay with I'll take Louisville.
Why not? And fans, also on Saturday, December 17th, the Celebration Bowl, which will get even more cameras and coverage. Jackson State going for the Black National Championship against North Carolina Central in Deion Sanders' last game as head coach at Jackson State before he moves on to Colorado. Is there anybody picking Central? Because I surely am not.
No, and if the thing that gets me is this ain't on ESPN 12. You know, we talk about the impact that he has. This is actually on ABC. So
at
I think
noon.
At noon. People need to wake up a little bit, wake up and see the impact that he has had. Stop being so damn jealous.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Also on the 17th, we have the New Mexico Bowl, BYU versus SMU from the American Conference. I'm going to pick SMU. I think they can beat BYU, but it's $5 for me. It's not even 10. What do you think, sir?
The LA Bowl.
Okay, so we're going to move on from the New Mexico Bowl to the LA Bowl. Fans, that means Mike's looking at his notes. So Washington State versus Fresno State. Well, since Washington State's in the Pac-12, most of the time, if not all of the time, but most of the time, we're just going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to pick Fresno State
yes.
because I rarely, and I'm going to keep saying rarely, have any faith in the Pac-12. So, Mike, who you got?
I'm going to go with Fresno State and damn Deion Sanders. I hate everything in the Pac-12.
Well, at least Colorado should have been Big 8. So they don't have the Big 8 anymore. So they came in late.
Yeah.
All right. So they have something called the Lending Tree Bowl. Okay. It's at 5:45 on ESPN. Southern Miss is taking on Rice. Southern Miss, it is not your fault, but Brett Favre put you in the news for all the wrong reasons. So I hope Rice runs the score up on you and go Rice. But again, no analysis. I'm still mad that Brett Favre is still getting over. He stole money from people who need it. So
welfare money.
I hope Rice wins and wins comfortably. Any thoughts on the Lending Tree Bowl?
Yeah, somebody ought to lend Brett Favre some money so he can pay these people back.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, Las Vegas Bowl. Again, I'm sorry. 7:30 prime time, ABC. The Florida Gators are taking on Oregon State. Oregon State's in the Pac-12. So, Florida, who's in the SEC, we're going to go with the Florida Gators. Mike, are we going to stay consistent with SEC over everybody?
Yeah, SEC versus the world. That's what it is. SEC versus the world. But go Gators, chunk.
All right, and the final bowl game that day is the Frisco Bowl, North Texas against Boise State, 9:15 on ESPN. After Boise State got thumped, I think they're going to beat North Texas because they got thumped, and I know that would leave a bitter taste in my mouth. And I'm not worried about those guys playing. They're going to play in the bowl game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to let that happen. They're not opting to go and draft worry and all that good stuff. Yeah.
All right, Monday, December 19th, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Shout out to our good friend Nima, but we won't be needing your place for this one. Marshall is taking on UConn. Sorry, I think Marshall can beat UConn. Actually, I think most people can beat UConn. But it is going to be on ESPN, 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday, December 19th. Mike, do you think UConn can pull off the upset?
No.
Okay. And that is the only bowl game that day. So we're going to move to Tuesday, December 20th, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. San Jose State is taking on Eastern Michigan. I have checked out San Jose State throughout the year. They've won some games, so I think they can beat Eastern Michigan in the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Eastern Michigan has the skilled people to keep up.
All right, so now we got the Boca Raton Bowl, and I'm not changing my pick, but I thought about it. Toledo is playing Liberty. Hugh Freeze has left Liberty, but I saw Toledo play. We're very good. So I got to think Liberty's going to win this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost, but I saw Toledo play, and they weren't very good. What do you
I'd like
think,
to know
sir?
the situation now in Liberty. Is the assistant state? Did someone stay on? Or are they looking to promote?
Well,
Is there
I think the Coastal coach came over, so those guys want to play to see, if they can stay. I hate to say it that way, but the Coastal Carolina coach, if I'm not mistaken, took that job. So
is
they're
that
playing.
how Biff got a job?
I'm sorry,
Biff.
No, Biff's at Charlotte.
Oh, my fault. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's why I think they're going to win, but no need for deep analysis on that. All right, and the final game for segment one. Wednesday, December 21st, the New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky against South Alabama. I've liked Western Kentucky this year, so I've got Western Kentucky winning. Mike, have you seen Western Kentucky or South Alabama?
Neither.
Well, hopefully they enjoy the trip to the Sugar Bowl and enjoy themselves. And with that,
here's your sweatsuit and your watch. And
yeah, man, you gotta let me know in one of these segments coming up what kind of bowl swag AJ got over the years. So. All right, fans. So that's the first week of bowl week. When we come back in segment 2, we're going to take on the second week. So again, take your notes. Strictly for entertainment purposes only, and we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
There is an old business adage that says, what gets measured and monitored gets done. It is also fact that deadlines spur action. That is what the CKA Save Project Academic Monitoring Service can do for student athletes. Measure and monitor their academic progress to improve their grades. Our academic monitoring services provide ongoing academic support for student athletes for a designated period of time. Our academic success coaches work with student athletes on time management and organizational skills, along with improving their ability to self-advocate. Every few weeks, our academic success coaches meet with student athletes to assess their academic progress, as well as provide ongoing academic advising. If needed, student athletes have access to CKA Learning Specialists who provide virtual core subject academic support for student athletes. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to go to week 2 and possibly week 3 of bowl championship season. So Thursday, December 22nd, the Armed Forces Bowl, Baylor versus Air Force. Baylor's got some guns, man, pardon the pun. Air Force has played well this year, but I got to think Baylor can beat Air Force. What do you think, Mike?
I think Baylor wins. Baylor beats Air Force in this one. Just, again, to maybe close early, but then eventually they just pull away.
All right. So I'm interested in this. Friday, December 23rd, the Gasparilla Bowl, Missouri, a middle-of-the-pack SEC team, will take on Wake Forest, an ACC team that, kind of was one of the upper tier teams. I think Wake even got ranked this year. So does Missouri beat Wake Forest? I say yes. What say you?
I don't know if Missouri is good enough to beat Wake Forest. Again, the Wake Forest guys are opting out. The Missouri kids, I don't see them opting out, but I just think Wake Forest is Wake Forest runs the ball better than Missouri. They can eat up clock, and when it comes to bowl games, you know how that is. So I'll take Wake Forest in that one.
All right. On Friday, December 23rd, the Independence Bowl will take place. Houston, one of my underperforming teams, will take on Louisiana Raging Cajuns. So I got to pick Houston because at the beginning of the year, I said Houston, Houston, Houston. So I got to kind of stay with it and hope they don't let me down. What do you think?
I haven't seen either one of these two play, but just on name alone, I would have to think that Houston can pull it off.
All right. Christmas Eve, the Hawaii Bowl, Middle Tennessee State versus San Diego State. I'm picking San Diego State because the flight from San Diego to Hawaii is about 5 hours, and the flight from Tennessee to Hawaii is longer. So I'm going to go with San Diego State. There's your deep analysis. I think I got something there. Shorter flight equals victory. What do you think, franchise?
Then Louisiana should beat Houston because the damn bowl is in Shreveport.
Have you been to Hawaii, Mike?
No.
I have been to Hawaii. Okay. First of all, coming from, DC to California, that was 5. and then you got to get back on and go to Hawaii, and then you got to fly back, and then I took the red eye. It took me a day and a half just to function. So yeah, these are kids who ain't even trying to stay,
They on their phones anyway. They
yeah.
don't care
So
about that.
yeah. So anyway, all right. Monday, December 26th, the Quick Lane Bowl. Bowling Green against New Mexico State at Ford Field in Detroit. I'm going to pick Bowling Green. I don't know why. No deep analysis. I just think New Mexico State
Sure, the
not
commute.
going to be. That's only about the flight, man. It's only about the flight. Okay. Any thoughts on the Quick Lane Bowl, sir? As you've made jokes all year, and now we're here, and you're like, "What is the Quick Lane Bowl?" Okay. All right, December 27th, the First Responder Bowl, Memphis versus Utah State. Utah State was one of
Good.
those teams, one of those weeks that I said, man, they're winning some games. Let
Mhm.
me pay attention to them for bowl week. Well, we're at bowl weeks now, so I'm going to pick Utah State over Memphis in the First Responder Bowl. What do you think?
Good pick. I also take Utah State.
Okay. The Birmingham Bowl. Coastal Carolina, who just lost their coach, is going against East Carolina in Birmingham, Alabama, and Protective Stadium. Coastal still got better talent than East Carolina, I think. But East Carolina did win me a little bit of money in the beginning because they covered against like North Carolina State or something. But I'll still pick Coastal.
That's going to be a great game, though. That's going to be a battle right there, man. For the state, come on now.
Hey, you got East Carolina?
I'll take East Carolina.
Okay, all right.
ECU, baby.
Your boy Vince went there. All right. The Camilla Bowl, or was it Camellia? I don't know.
Man,
Buffalo against Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern had a good upset this year. I forgot who they beat, but I'm going to pick Buffalo. And that is played in the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. In case fans wanted to.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, you got me.
Thanks, sir.
Not even a pick from him. All right, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl will have Wisconsin going against Oklahoma State at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Since I don't like Mike Gundy, I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Sorry.
I'm taking Oklahoma State.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm 40.
I'm probably wrong.
Because I'm 40.
He's 50 now. So
because I'm 50. I'm a man. Oh,
I'm sorry. And also, Wisconsin got Luke Fickell as a coach now. So those kids are trying to play and keep their scholarships. Luke Fickell's going to Wisconsin. So, yeah, I think they're going to try to impress Luke.
The recycle bin.
Well, Luke finally left Cincinnati for Wisconsin, so they must have given him something other than the bag. I mean, he's got the bag. Yeah. All right. Military Bowl. This is Wednesday, December 28th. Military Bowl, Duke versus UCF. As much as I love UCF, and shout out to Garnett Overby and everybody with the Institute of Sport and Social Justice. High school buddy of mine's son plays for Duke. His name is Jordan Moore. His dad is Percy Moore. Percy is possibly one of the finest human beings in the history. Roger Staubach level human being. Percy, hell of a mentor, just great dude. So I'm rooting for his son. They're playing in our backyard, Pate Branch. Percy's class of 89. Percy's class of like 88, something like that. So I'm rooting for Duke just because I love Percy and I hope his kid does well. His name's Jordan Moore. Fans, keep an eye out for him during the game. He's a do everything kind of cat. So again, don't put your money down for that. That's why it's entertainment. Listen to how I'm picking games. Travel, friends from high school. And I don't like the coach and Pac-12 bias. Mike, what do you think, man? Can Duke beat UCF?
Sure, Duke can beat UCF.
Will they?
Great question. These are two good. I'm not sure that I can put stock in either one of these two because I thought Duke had a pretty good pretty good season, right?
Yeah, they did. They had a better than Duke season.
Right.
I think they're 8-4 or something like that.
Yeah, which is good for them and good for anybody, really. But I just don't think that.
And they're playing one of the better teams in the American. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the American versus the ACC.
Yes, we
and
did.
What's the dadgum difference?
Yep.
This is the kind of game where we're going to say, see what I'm talking about? Ain't no difference.
There's definitely not from not these levels.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the Liberty Bowl. And again, this is December 28th, fans. Arkansas is going against Kansas. Kansas, thank you for winning my $9.10. But you're not beating Arkansas. So you're not beating Arkansas. You going for the upset, Mike? Can Kansas beat Arkansas?
It's SEC, man. You know how we roll, bro. I love Kansas. I like what they did. But that middle road SEC still better than the middle of the road anything else.
All right. So here's where both Mike and I might go away from our bias. The Holiday Bowl. Oregon is playing against North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I think Bo Nix is going to play. And I think Drake May is going to play. And I think both of them have really good potential and can get jobs. I didn't say stars, but, they can make some money on Sunday holding a clipboard or in the next couple of years. But team to team, I just think Oregon's just a better team than North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I've watched North Carolina all year, and I've watched Oregon all year. Sorry, I usually pick against the Pac-12, but not in this one. Should have been probably Heisman candidate, except those last 2 weeks he stunk up the joint. So what do you think, Mike? Can Oregon beat North Carolina?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they will. Yeah, taking Oregon in this one.
Okay. All right. I'm worried about this one, Mike. In the Texas Bowl, Ole Miss is playing Texas Tech. And Lane got his contract extension, so he ain't worried about his job. And a whole bunch of kids is probably going to sit this one out. And Texas Tech's probably going to care. And I still got Ole Miss winning.
And did you see what Lane did this week? Talking about trolls, man. It came out with some poll.
The swag poll, yes. Yes. Okay.
He put Deion, because Deion number 1, he number 2 in swag, and then anti-swag was Kelly at LSU.
Yes.
He tagged
and he said, congratulations, Deion. Yeah, snarky for no reason, but it's probably why I like him. And that's probably a good way to end this segment. So we're going to pause, come back in segment 3 for the big bowls, and then my partner will actually care about the majority of them because he's heard of the teams. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Don't waste your money on us. Don't spend it.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student-athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3 of our college football bowl extravaganza. Strictly for entertainment purposes only, so don't get divorced off our picks. Segment 3, Thursday, December 29th, the Pinstripe Bowl. Minnesota is taking on Syracuse. Now, what happened to Syracuse? They were on the
Man.
They were smoking.
3-0, 4-0, scoring 40, 50 points a game, man. And then it just, I think one of the engines went out on the right side of the plane.
So, Big Ten versus ACC. I'm going to go Big Ten. I got Minnesota. Who you got? It's okay to pick Syracuse. They're playing in the Bronx. New York should come out and support Syracuse, and I still got Minnesota. They in the boogie down there in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but that's going to be a tough one. I think Minnesota runs the ball so well, man. If their running back is healthy, I think they'll run the ball, control the clock. Syracuse can't do nothing with them. I'll take Minnesota.
All right, so fans and my partner, help me out with this one. The Cheez-It Bowl, which is going to be on December 29th. I will be in Florida at that time, and I asked my beautiful wife, Muff, would you like to go to the Orlando Magic Los Angeles Lakers game, or would you like to go to the Cheez-It Bowl and see Oklahoma play Florida State? 2 guesses on what she picked.
Indoors.
Indoors. I'm not trying to mess with these college kids. I don't want to do that. So Oklahoma versus Florida State. Florida State ended the season well. Duke was on the hot seat. They're talking about he shouldn't have got hired, should have hired Dion, had a great season.
Yeah,
I think he's going to close out.
That man was stressing.
And Brent Venables is already looking in the portal. So keep an eye on Oklahoma leaving and coming. So anyway, what about you, Mike? You think Florida State can win? Hey, would you have gone to the Cheez-It Bowl or the Lakers game against Orlando? What do you think?
Definitely would have went and seen the well, I don't know. Now you don't know which one of the Lakers is going to be there. Which one? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's a toss-up right there. You don't know.
Well, we actually decided not to go to either the Lakers game or that. We're going to take one of those gambling boat cruises instead and have a good time. And they said, hey, we could go at 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock or like 7 o'clock to midnight. Man,
11 to 4 it is.
11.
Goddamn midnight. He had me out
I
there.
can't see driving at that. What are you talking about? All right, moving on. Alamo Bowl. This one hurt me, Mike, because the Alamo Bowl has Texas versus Washington. And I know Washington ain't no daggum good, but Texas is back every week. Texas is back, and Texas will actually win this one. And then we got to hear in the offseason how they won 3 out of their last 4 or some ridiculousness like that.
And the Manning boy or something like that.
Yeah, man. And so what do you think about the Alamo Bowl?
Yeah, applesauce.
Yes. All right. Friday, December 30th, the Duke Mayo Bowl, Maryland versus North Carolina State. So, fans, North Carolina State was supposed to be good this year. They were supposed to be the sneaky good pick because they brought back everybody with the COVID year, and they're all 30, and they had a middling season. Maryland started off very hot, and quite frankly, they fell off pretty quickly. I'm rooting for Maryland always because, man, things just go well when you got a local team doing well. But I picked NC State early in the season, and I think they're going to finish up strong. So I got NC State. Mike, is Maryland going to win the Duke Mayo Bowl at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina? That's horseman country, baby.
Yeah, I would think so. That's going to be a tough, a good game for Maryland to get back, to get back at the ACC hype, why they left the ACC.
Well, we know why.
Yeah, but
80 million reasons why they left.
NC State, an ACC school, one of the originals, throw Maryland. I think it's going to be a good game. If everyone's healthy for Maryland, I could see it being a good game and Maryland winning.
Man, I do want to go to one of these bowl games one year, not this year, but just the atmosphere when people know how to tailgate and you just that's why I wanted to go to the Cheez-It Bowl because they know how to do these things. And
Mhm.
man, our atmosphere, and you can admit this, just ain't good when you've been somewhere else. You're like, eh,
Yeah.
there's something else to do on Saturday. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I actually wanted to go to the bowl game. I was hoping it was in Orlando, which would have made it a lot easier because then I don't have to do a room and board and all that selfishly.
Yeah.
But it's North Carolina. That's not a flight. That's a drive. 6 hours. I don't like.
Legitimate six.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right. Sun Bowl again, going against my knee jerk. The Sun Bowl has UCLA versus Pitt. The defensive player of the year in the ACC is not playing. Well, UCLA it is because UCLA is going to the Big Ten and they have to show out. They have to. And Pitt, man, you just don't have the juice, man. So I'm going to go with UCLA against Pitt in the Sun Bowl. What about you, Mike?
Same.
Yeah.
I would say
There's bias and there's stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm just biased.
Yeah. Extremely biased, right?
Yes. All right,
So
Gator Bowl. This should be a good one. Hey, Jake, how you doing? I wonder if Jake's going to this one. I got to ask him. Notre Dame against South Carolina. So South Carolina ended the year like one of the hottest teams in the country, beating real people. So the Beamer kid's trying to get a new contract. So I think if he can go out and beat
the
Notre
Beamer
Dame,
kid.
I think he can get that new contract that he wants. And Notre Dame don't know who's playing quarterback. Remember, their starting quarterback left. He's in the portal.
Mm.
So in the backup, we were searching for his name last week. Yeah, we couldn't find it. And the kid who was supposed to play is not going to waste a year of eligibility playing in this Gator Bowl. So, and Rattler, I think, is going to play.
Rattler's playing. Supposed to.
Well, okay. I'm picking South Carolina. What about you, sir?
Yeah, I got South Carolina in this. I mean, I'm a Notre Dame fan, you know that, but
Yes, indeed.
We talked about it earlier, SEC versus the world.
All right, the Arizona Bowl. I think that's called the Barstool. I think Barstool has something to do with that. And it's at Arizona Stadium in Tucson. Ohio is playing Wyoming. I'm just going to pick Wyoming because they've got more letters in their name than Ohio. That's about as deep as I'm going.
Ouch.
Come on, man.
Ouch.
Ohio played nobody, and Wyoming, whatever. Go Cowboys. Who cares? Right. I'm sorry. Hey, Mike, do you have a preference in the Arizona Bowl? I didn't think so. Okay. So now we're going to bowls.
I got a more preference than letters in their name. I know that damn thing. Go ahead, man.
All right. The Orange Bowl. Tennessee is playing Clemson. First of all, I gotta say I'm disappointed in the Heisman committee for not inviting Hendon Hooker to New York City. He did enough to at least get the little 10-minute segment on the show. And here's what's going on. And we wish you well.
He's not playing.
I know, but man, he got hurt in the big game. He should have got invited.
No.
Should have got invited.
There was no way he was going to be a part of it, so I wouldn't invite him. He's not even playing.
Yeah.
Why would you invite somebody not even playing?
Well, against my better judgment, I'm going to pick Clemson because they're playing that freshman quarterback, and that kid's trying to earn some NIL money, and I don't know who Tennessee's quarterback is, so that's why I'm picking it. That kid's trying to get the bag early, and
so the Orange Bowl got two teams with nothing but orange.
Yes, it is the total Orange Bowl, but we called that weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
So this is when I'm going against the SEC, but I don't know who's quarterbacking. And Tennessee's got to be down because they were right there. We had them in the clutches and let it go.
Yeah,
I doubt you're picking Dabo though.
I I like to abstain.
and you may, sir, and you may. All right, Saturday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, baby. The Music City Bowl in Nashville, Tennessee. Iowa versus Kentucky. Iowa is the slowest good team I have ever seen in my life, and Kentucky is the SEC. So there, I say Iowa scores 10 points a game. Kentucky's going to score that in the first, quarter.
Hopefully.
So I got Kentucky over Iowa. They can't keep up.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Ferenz has a way of milking that clock and keeping the ball, but I do Kentucky, even if it's late. I see Kentucky pulling out late.
All right. Sugar Bowl. Alabama versus Kansas State. Shout out to Dr. Lisa Rubin, who will be in the house. She said, Keith, I got my ticket for the Superdome and enjoy yourself. But Mike, you're a coach. Can Alabama even be motivated to play after their disappointing season?
No. And half the players already entered the portal. You ain't see it?
Again, that's why I'm going to you.
Yeah.
But even Alabama's backup should be able to beat Kansas State, though. So I'm going to pick Alabama.
Nah.
So you got Kansas State?
I just don't. I mean, I'm going to pick Alabama.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think you're going to talk bad about them. But when it comes to the pay window, I ain't picking against them. But them Bama's is leaving.
I look dumb, but I ain't stupid.
All right. So fans, this is it. New Year's Eve, man. I hope I land before the game starts. Actually, I will be watching the game on the airplane, it looks like. Fiesta Bowl, college football semifinals. I finally got my partner's attention. Michigan is going against TCU. There is a lot of respect for TCU pulling out a lot of games from next to nothing. Quarterback Max Duggan, whatever. Hey, man, you get a salute from Coach Adams, who don't like nobody. But Michigan's playing for something, and Harbaugh has heard the jokes since he's been there, and he actually got some horses that can do something. And I got to think Michigan is going to beat TCU. They're going to start off slow. Everybody's going to say Harbaugh is going to disappoint. And then just like that Ohio State game, I just think they're going to pull it on. Plus, even with the backup running back, it's something that you've told me over the years. When you're able to run on somebody, that's demoralizing. 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. Your defensive line gets all slumped up.
Yeah.
Everybody gets tired, and the clock just going. So I got Michigan. What do you have, sir?
I'm going to take Michigan. TCU is not big enough up front to deal with that running game. It's not. It's just not. That's that Big Ten running game's different.
Yes. And Max looked beat up after that last game, man. I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Hopefully he is. But all right, Peach Bowl, Georgia versus Ohio State. Now, Georgia's going to win. Okay, get that out of the way. And we'll have a deep analysis later, and we'll have some folks on, and hopefully we can get my friend Max Johnston on there, the Ohio State's #1 fan. But I feel bad because Georgia actually has to play somebody that's really good, and I don't think TCU's that good, and they were rewarded like we do in the school system with this, you did good this year. So here's the 3rd seed, and congratulations. Because they're not the 3rd best team in the country. We know that. But the question was, do they deserve to be in there based on the format? And based on the format, yes, they deserve to be in. But hey, as Nick Saban said, we talk about wins and losses now. So what are you thinking about Georgia, Ohio State, before we do the real in-depth, even though Georgia's going to win? Yes, I disrespect Ohio State.
No, I think Ohio State did a good job, had a good season, but we knew from the beginning how that whole pub thing's run. But I just think They will not. If they thought Michigan ran them over, Jesus Christ. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this.
And Stetson lost
Yes.
the Heisman.
Yes.
So
they might 30 burger. They might 30 burger Ohio State, man.
All right. Citrus Bowl is also on January 2nd. LSU against Purdue. I saw Purdue play. I saw LSU play. And if somebody beat me, like Georgia beat LSU, give me one more game so I can get my anger out because you beat me bad.
Yeah,
so I got to beat somebody else up.
I got to get somebody else to business and you give me a month to practice. Yeah. You're going to get it.
So Purdue's going to get – I'll actually take the points that day and not the money.
All the points.
Okay. Mike, the Cotton Bowl. I didn't want this matchup. You didn't want this matchup. The ratings are going to tell you didn't want this matchup. USC is taking on Tulane at 1:00 on ESPN in Jerry's world. Is Tulane even going to be close to this?
Hell no.
What is this? Caleb just won the Heisman. Now, usually there's a Heisman hangover, but man, I can't see Tulane.
He got just what he needed for this one. You can take care of that.
Yeah, man. That's not going to be pretty.
That's bad.
The game I actually want to watch, Rose Bowl, Utah versus Penn State.
Yeah.
I want Penn State to win. I'm rooting for Penn State to win. I believe Penn State will win. But, James Franklin said it himself. He needs a great season, not a good season. They're the third best team in the Big Ten. And the two teams that they lost to are in the college football playoff.
Exactly.
So you've got to flex on this to say, you got to be a playoff caliber team to beat us. So that's why I got Penn State winning, and I hope they flex. I do.
Me too.
So,
Me too. Shout out Coach Frank. I don't want nobody. I don't need no more FaceTimes from him this year. I just want him to go ahead and do his thing. He will not FaceTime me like he did after they beat Maryland.
But I again, go get him. Joey Porter Jr. is not playing, but somebody got next man up. And then the college football playoff national championship, we're going to hold off on that. And we're going to say congratulations to Caleb Williams for winning the Heisman Trophy to close out. Caleb is from the DMV, the District, Maryland, and Virginia. And if I'm not mistaken, Mike, you are much more of a football historian than I am. He's the first guy from the DMV to win the Heisman, isn't he?
Not just the DMV, from AJ's alma mater, Gonzaga College High School, baby.
Oh, man, Randy's going to eat that up, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Randy Travers. We go back almost 30 years. So congratulations. And the cool part about it is I had my Caleb story because I didn't follow him. And, I told you guys in the audience, my son was playing youth football when they were playing Texas and Oklahoma, his first game. And I'm holding the stick. And, I got a little change on the game. And I'm like, ooh, man. Texas is whipping up on Oklahoma. They put some kid in. That's some kid. That's Caleb. Who's Caleb? Mike's done me 30 years. I don't sweat nothing. So everybody at the game is Caleb this, Caleb that. Caleb played the Gonzaga. Looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm supposed to know this? I don't care. And then, you can hear nobody's watching the kids playing anymore. They're watching their phones. And Caleb scored. Not Oklahoma. Caleb scored.
Yeah.
Caleb scored. And then they won the game, and then I started to follow him. And after the game, KJ, who knows more about Caleb than I did, said, Dad, I heard Caleb was playing. And he was saying it like he knew, like Caleb was playing. And he did well. And I'm like, you know him too? Yeah, Dad, he went to Gonzaga. Okay. Out of the mouths of children, here come wisdom. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up our bowl extravaganza? And fans, I hope you win a little bit of change, because that's all I'm betting is a little bit of change.
No, shout out to Caleb for winning the Heisman, and a very good acceptance speech where he went back and thanked everybody from his youth coaches to his trainer to his high school coaches and talked about everything that he's gone through to get where he's at. And it was very touching to hear. And I'm happy for him and the family and the DMV area to show that we do have some football. We play some football on this side, guys. Everybody think it's just basketball, but you know.
All right. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. Good luck with your betting. Bet within reason, strictly for entertainment purposes only. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care. And yes, I said I picked the team because of the flight. Have a good day.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.